Well, it's that time of the year again. You can see the sun is to the south, which means we're heading north. Got my winter hat on because it's still cold. Heading back up the sea to Penasco to drop Karuna and Meraki off. We'll put them away. I'll go rejoin the workforce for a few months. My parents will go babysit for a few months. And we will begin again in maybe October this time. Maybe September even if we're lucky. Well, I saw new pair of sunglasses. New pair of sunglasses down there. And you can never have too many sunglasses. Beautiful water here in Isla San Francisco. My peers are out with our other yachts, our other yachting friends. There's the old people. And gonna go collect some sunglasses, and I'm gonna go find some agates. We didn't do this side of the hill.
I didn't remember it was that up and over.
The sea's still pretty cold this time of year, but there is some wind blowing from the south, so there will be some sailing, probably a lot of motoring, and probably a lot of sitting and waiting out northers. So these breads are going to be straight masterpieces. This one, herbs and cheese. Got a little bit of queso over the top with some parsley and thyme and maybe a little bit of nutmeg, I think. And inside is a layer of cheese. This one, top is sprinkled a little bit of nutmeg. Inside is some dark, dark chocolate. And here, yeah, they're about ready to go, right? Sure, why not? Ooh, yeah, nice and warm. Goodbye, my little goodies. enjoy cooked deliciously. So just to reiterate, the boat is sailing along at this angle. You can see there's the stove. Here is a delicious pot of underway stew going. Ooh, yeah. And then in here, we have the masterpieces. Oh, look at those babies. Well, ladies and gents, that's sunrise. We made it through the night, and what a hell of a night it was. Started out beautiful. Good bioluminescence, great stars, flat, clear water. At about 2 a.m., I hit a net. And at first, that was a beautiful experience too. I could see it stringing out to the sides, dragging bioluminescence. At first, it was kind of surreal. I couldn't figure out what it was. And then I went and checked my speed gauge, and I wasn't moving. I was at 0. I'd seen two kind of weird lights off to either side. It ends up there. The end post lights of probably 200 meter long, maybe 400 meter long net, a gill net, so with floats on the top, plums on the bottom. The fish, it just drifts there, hangs in the water and drifts there, and the fish swim into it and die. I learned some things. I hit it. I probably should have known it was there because I saw the lights. I'd heard stories about them. I thought I would go over it. And if I'd probably just walked up to the bow and pushed it down, I think it got stuck in my pop stay and probably would have passed underneath the boat and been fine. Instead, I cut the engine, put it in neutral, waited, tried to see if I could drift out of it. Got to the point where I thought I had an accessible reverse route. I tried to reverse out. And props pull a lot of water. I mean, that's how they move a boat. So when you're in reverse, they suck a lot of water through there. And they suck that net right up into it. And within about a second of being in reverse, it was caught. The engine stalls. That was when the night went shitty. About 20 minutes later, the Panga came over to check on me. I had my mizzen light on. I had everything illuminated, trying to see it. Poked at it a bunch with a boat hook. I don't know what I was thinking, why it would possibly do anything. They came over and they started hauling on the leads, trying to get the prop to turn and unspin it, but it was gummed up pretty good. So I ended up getting in the water. I grabbed a kitchen knife, they held the light, and I went into the scariest thing I've done, I think. It was black with just this little light shining down. So the prop was illuminated. Tried to free with my hands, couldn't get it, used the knife to cut it free. Popped up and jumped out of the water thinking, never doing that again, but the prop still wasn't free. Couldn't get it to turn. So I went back in and spent about 15 more minutes cutting it off the shaft until finally I could turn the wheel, turn the prop, and watch it spiral off, and the
slices that I'd cut kind of fall into the abyss. Guys didn't speak a word of English, but at least they were friendly enough. They were supportive. They held the light. I don't know why I thought they'd be the ones getting in the water. In between my first and my second jaunt in the water, a dolphin swam into the gill net. You could hear it off a few hundred feet away, just struggling to breathe, popping up, struggling to breathe. They looked at me, they said, "Hey, Lobo, Lobo." Like, okay, we're just gonna let a dolphin die? They're like, "Oh, you could go save it too?" You know, in Spanish, I don't know how you say it in Spanish, but that was very clearly what they were suggesting. So, don't know, left that one to another day. Absolutely cut myself to shit on the barnacles on the bottom. So, came out just shivering, bleeding. Used up the last of my water to take a hot shower. Now here we are. Got one more day of sailing. Here's sunrises on the last day. Man, we've ripped northward. It was wind cooperated. A lot of motoring, but nothing too crazy. Two pretty wild sailing experiences with big wind, big waves, just crushing along. Caught a bird and an eel, but no fish. Caught some groupers by jigging at the rocks. Yeah, I'm tired. I'm excited to put the boat up and do some plane travel.